Welcome back to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm your host, Brandon. We got my homie, Javi, back
Yo.
for episode 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Resonance is the name of this episode. But before we get into this episode, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. You can also find us on social media. Anywhere, just search for the We Was Watching podcast or search for at We Was Watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, at youtube.com/at We Was Watching, or just search for We Was Watching in the search bar, like our video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you can see us go live. And if you are liking what we are listening to, have any theories about what's about to happen in Monarch, send us an email at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com and tell us what you expect to happen with these monsters. Javi, what'd you think about episode 2, Resonance?
The title makes sense
Okay.
because resonance means sound, and that's the Titan X resonates is pretty much all. It's pretty much the most valuable piece of information we learned from this kaiju. I think that, and we can go into this further. I enjoy I enjoy the lore. I enjoy the kaiju lore. I enjoy the Godzilla lore, all that. But I feel like this is a little too slow of a burn, and I feel like they're making some of the same mistakes that Marvel made with some of their shows. Um, this should have just been a move. I mean, and this is just episode 2, so like, don't let my skepticism, you know, paint the whole show yet. But I'm not having as much fun as I was having last season by this point in the show.
So I'll say the new Titan X looks cool as shit.
Yeah, and I think in the look, there is some stuff. There's some stuff to bite on here, right? Like we mentioned it last episode. I think they're moving into like Lovecraftian old god territory, and I'm hoping that gives us an opportunity to kind of like go into what these kaiju actually are, because there's always been like this mystery behind them. And why have this show if we can't dig a little deeper into the lore? And I think that's if this, for me, everything can get better if there's some payoff to the slow burn. This creature doesn't look particularly intimidating compared to some of the kaiju we've seen, but they're calling it a living calamity. So I'm hoping that eventually it lives up to its name, but it's really taking its time developing this.
I think the camera work will get better as we move forward because I've seen more of this, and it's so much bigger than what it looks like in the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
It's so much bigger than what you can tell from the first 2 episodes from the camera shots that they've done. Although at the end of this episode, when it showed up in Chile, you were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that was cool.
That
was cool. Glowing
ravaging.
red.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, like that whole scene, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's almost like they're phoning in some of this stuff. Like and I don't want to get ahead, but you brought up that last scene, and this isn't the first time when we're dealing with these monsters. Like, we're running away from these creatures, right? And there's thousands of them running past these people. They're not even attacking them, but we're supposed to be totally terrified of these creatures. Like,
well, I don't know if we're supposed to be terrified of them. I think that scene, because we're not going in necessarily in order. We're just talking about the show.
Yeah.
I think that scene was that they are symbiotic with that thing. And so when that thing started showing up, they didn't give a fuck about none of the people or nothing. They were going to Titan X. So they just ran right by him.
Yeah.
But when they're
But I
not
think that was
around,
also yeah, yeah.
when they're not around, then they can be a little bit more. When Titan X is not around, I should say, then they're a little bit more aggressive on their own.
They're trying to get to mama. But I don't know, there's a lot. You know what? I'm gonna be you this episode. I think I'm gonna be the salty guy
That's
here.
right. That's right. That's what I
Yeah.
like to see. Well, I had a lot to complain about this episode. First,
Yeah.
well, this wasn't a complaint, but this was my first observation. This is how we do the show. Tim, he ain't built for this, Javi. Tim not
No.
built for this.
No. Just a mediocre white guy
They made
thrust
that
into
man.
leadership.
He don't even want it. No,
Yeah.
he's not a mediocre white guy
No,
because
he's a good guy. Let me take that back. I like
a
him.
mediocre white
Yeah.
guy
I like him. I
wants
like
wants the power, but is
Yeah.
not qualified for the power.
Yeah.
Tim's like, what you mean I'm in charge? Kate,
And
she
why-
founded this shit. Give it to her.
And Monarch seems to be like a multi-billion-dollar government, pseudo government organization. They don't have anybody.
No, not
more-
pseudo. They are an arm of the government in this universe. They're like
Yeah,
a
and that's-
department. Yeah.
And that's who they. And I feel like that's kind of like is this like a conservative message about like waste and corruption in government agencies? Like there's no good government worker. They just put the next body in charge. Like I don't.
Well,
I don't get it.
Vertugo was competent. She just was a little hard ass.
Yeah,
they
but how do you
didn't
go from
portray her-
Vertugo to this guy? Like he doesn't
Well,
even
hold
want
on.
to just.
Technically, he's not in charge because remember in this episode, he's like, "Let's call such and such. He's the one that's in charge." And
Yeah.
they were like, "Dog, we can't reach him. We're all the way out in the fucking near Skull Island.
That does
You're
make
the
sense.
you're the
Yeah.
highest ranking person here." Is what
Yeah.
they said.
Yeah,
You're the
that
highest
does
ranking
make
person
sense.
out here.
Yeah.
So he's not in charge, but he's in charge at that boat,
Yeah.
and he don't want that job. He don't want that
At
job at
all.
all.
No.
To the point that Keiko just came out the fucking hole for 57 years. She don't even know what a computer is, right? When she went down there, they had no computers, they had no cell phones, none of that shit. And
But she
he's
could look
like, you run that shit.
But she can look at a drone and be like, "Hey, maybe we can like match the resonance using that drone." Bro,
Was she the one who said that?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't
and
know
she
that
was
was
like,
her.
"Do you think we can match the resonance?" And then her son's like, "Yeah, I can do that." Like, oh, I don't know what it is, bro. I love Apple TV, and I feel like I'm being a real. Oh man, I don't like being this guy. I don't like being this guy, Brandon.
Well, I'm going to be the guy with you because my next point
Yeah.
is how does Monarch have sensors that track Titans and all that tech in the world, but they can't tell that it's a mini Titan running around their ship? No camera picked it up. There's no sensors on the ship. None of the millions, none of the dozens of soldiers running around doing patrol on the boat didn't see it.
Yeah.
It's just
I
running
mean, my
through.
question is, I mean, I know that guy was a doctor, but I'm pretty sure he was like trained somewhat, right? Like,
Well, he might not have been strapped.
but I mean, everybody else was able to defeat that little creature. Freaking Kate is
Well,
a
no.
buck.
No.
10.
Kate didn't. Hold on. Kate did not defeat the creature. Kate was about to get destroyed. Kentaro
but she
came
put
down
up-
and shot the creature.
She put up a better fight than the grown ass Monarch doctor.
Yeah, but she did have some prep time. She had Batman time.
Yeah,
She had
Batman
to-
time.
But hold up, that was. We'll get to that part because that part was
Yeah.
so fake. But this creature is running around. So for those of you who didn't watch didn't watch this episode, well, why are you listening to it if you didn't watch this episode? So you know,
Yeah,
one of the
watch-
little
watch
shell
it.
creatures, on the boat, and it's running around, and it's sneaking everywhere, and it came from the little pod that Lee came back on.
Yep.
And so it's just running around, and no one sees it. It decides to eat this doctor dead, and then later in the episode, Kate comes across
Yo,
it.
hold on. He didn't just eat the doctor. The doctor didn't even put up his hands. He didn't even put up his dukes. He was so bad. This right. It's the writing. But anyways, go ahead.
And I mean, he got the jump on the doctor. He was hiding up in the rafters. I don't blame the doctor. I blame all the other people on the boat. At
Yeah.
this point, the thing was already hiding in the room. You
Last
know,
episode, Lee Shaw is like 98 years old or whatever. I don't know how time works in this show. And he completed some pretty impressive close quarters combat with that creature while strapped to a seat.
Lee Shaw is an impossible white man. He can handle it.
Yeah, magical white guy. Yeah, you're right. Right.
What do you think about how they're portraying the Keiko, Lee, and Billy love triangle in the past?
That's my favorite part. I think that's
Okay.
the most. I think that's the most well written human component to this show. Um, I think that um, Bill, like it's natural. It makes sense how that love triangle can develop. Keiko and Lee are spending a lot of time with each other. Um, Bill, she obviously loves Bill, but and Bill obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious. I mean, I don't know if she's deluding herself, saying that Bill cares more about them than the work, because I don't know if that's clear yet. But it makes sense. It's not something that they're just kind of like, forcing us to care about. And I
Mm-hmm.
think everything else in the show, at least this season, they're kind of forcing us to care about
I
some really
mean,
ridiculous people. But
they got Lee and Keiko high as a kite in
yeah,
Chile, and they look like they was ready to throw down in front of everybody.
yeah, yeah. But they built like that moment. We that moment was built to. You know what I mean? Like we earned that moment. And it made sense. I think it was a. I think they wait. I think it was the how to use the villagers was weak. They drug them, and then but they're not really drugged or something, and then they just disappear. Like that was just, I don't know. It just didn't.
Keiko did do that though when Bill ain't wanna come back. You know,
What you
Bill.
mean?
Bill gonna find out. Bill gonna find out that they was getting ready to, they was getting real
But
close.
what's Bill gonna do to Lee? Lee will throw Bill in the locker.
No, I didn't say Bill was gonna
Really?
do anything to Lee.
Oh
What
yeah.
Bill's gonna do is go back to his crib. Right, he's gonna go
Yeah.
back to his crib, go in his music room. All right, he's gonna go in his record collection. Okay, and he's gonna play this.
Nada franchise. Nada shot caller. Yeah.
And he's just gonna vibe
Yeah.
because he's sick of him.
He's sick. Yeah.
He's sick of him. He's sick of he put his life on the line for this woman, and she
Yeah.
running around with this crazy man. That's what Bill gonna do.
Yeah, but
But
I mean, Bill's a pretty bad bad husband or boyfriend. I don't even. What are they? They married at this point?
I think they are married at this point.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a pretty horrible husband.
So back on the ship, back in the past. So basically, in the past, they go back, and this time the Chileans were like, "Hey, dog, we'll talk to you. You come hang out. Like, we'll show you and come party with us too." But the whole time it's a setup to get them
Yeah.
fucked up by Titan X because they don't want nobody to know their secret about the Titans. So back in the present, the little shell mini Titan is running around the boat, and Kate runs up on it. What we were talking about earlier, and Kate. This is what Kate does. This made me so mad. She's the
Kate
worst.
is the worst. She's the
worst.
MWP, the most worst person. Like she's horrible. But anyways, go ahead.
She sees the thing, runs away from it tries to get on the phone to call for help. She don't even know where she's at on the ship. She's so flustered. She can't even talk. She's like, oh my God, I don't know what's going, where's that? And then she gets off of the thing and immediately turns into fucking Rambo. She's like, all right, motherfucker. I'm ready to fucking takes a fire extinguisher. She's ready to fuck up the mini Titan. This literally happened.
Yeah.
This literally happened one after another, like right next to each other. And I said, she's the worst, man. The whole time she's mad at Hiroshi. Like she's trying to take all the blame for it. And
I mean, Hiroshi's a pretty horrible person as well.
Yeah,
don't get it twisted. Bad. He's a pretty bad guy. I mean, 2 families, come on. But I give him props because they addressed something that bothered me last episode.
What's that?
and bothers me a lot when it comes to shows like this. Like characters make horrible decisions that get people killed, and we just forget it happens. At least Hiroshi and Kentaro kind of like contemplating, like, yo, we messed up. We released a whole new kaiju on Earth for
Mhm.
one person. Like, we effed up. But then Kate hears that and she's like, she throws a little baby tantrum,
She wants to
which, you
take
know what?
all the blame.
Which is fine. It is her fault. No, listen, she should take all the blame. But then Kentaro loses, not Kentaro, Hiroshi loses all the credibility I give him because he instantly goes like, oh, it's nobody's fault. No, it is Kate's fault.
Eh,
Period. Like
But
the
May,
way
but
they,
May
yeah,
said something similar, but she was doing it from a different angle. She was like,
mm,
"You're not going to take away my fucking agency. I decided
yeah,
to go to that fucking island. You didn't
yeah,
make me. I made
yeah.
the choice to do that. We all made that decision. This ain't about
Well,
you crying like a little fucking baby. We all made that
yeah.
decision. We gotta live with it."
And she didn't even call her mom yet.
No, she hasn't called her mom.
Yo, Kate, yo, well, May is perfect. I just want to say that May's perfect. I think May's perfect, but Kate,
Does
uh,
anybody play a vaguely racist person better than Wyatt Russell?
he he is like the embodiment of a human asshole.
Or is it just because
But
we see John Walker?
no, it's his face.
Okay,
It's just
that's
his
what I thought.
face. But he pulls it off so well. Like, I love his character. I love his character, but I hate his character.
Yes.
I have very complicated feelings. I am basically Keiko. Like, I have very complicated feelings when it comes to Lee.
Want to know what my prediction is? And I have not watched ahead. I have all the episodes. We have not watched ahead. We're gonna me and Javier watching week to week, just like y'all.
Mhm.
My prediction is that they're gonna do some more timey wimey shit,
Yeah.
and Wyatt Russell's gonna end up in the future and be with Keiko.
He has to because I don't want to see Kurt Russell. I don't want to see old Lee Shaw and young Keiko
Middle
do
aged
any.
Keiko. I think she's supposed to be like 40 something.
Yeah, but I mean, he still got like 30 years on her right now at this point.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, no, I think that they have to do that. I mean, and why not? I mean, the writing is they do whatever they want in the writing room. Apparently, like
Well, what'd you think
nothing
about the
has.
big action set piece of the episode of Lee in that boat trying to steer Titan X away from destroying everybody, and then
Not a fan.
getting a tidal wave coming and him making it out of it?
You know, I was gonna say not a fan because it was cheesy, but it was cheesy in a good way. It,
Yeah.
you know, it was 80s action movie cheesy.
Yes,
Like,
that's what I was gonna
yeah,
say. Kurt
I
Russell.
mess with that. I mess with that. Yeah, I liked it.
It's very Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
and he got out of there. But Titan X is out in the open now,
Mm-hmm.
and we know he's gonna have a fight with Kong
Yeah.
at some point. Like him and Kong gonna throw down. I hope Godzilla shows up, but we'll see.
I mean, I hope Kaiju X, you know, lives up to the name and we see a team up. We see, the first team up between Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, but they're gonna
So
have
the
to end up on bad terms for the movie to make sense. Why they was beefing with each other
True, I
to start
keep
the
on
movie.
forgetting. I don't. Yeah, there
I
has to
mean,
be. You know
at
what?
the end
Yeah.
of the movie, they was cool, but this is way before then.
But again, time travel. I mean, they fight and then just listen. Right now, the right. I have no faith that anything that happens from this point on makes sense in like at this point. I'm watching this. This is popcorn. This is a popcorn show for me, and I'm a little disappointed because, like I said before, like the lore of the show interests me. And again, we're only on episode 2, so there's time for me to be totally wrong about where I think the show's going, but honestly, at this point, anything can happen. Especially when it comes to time travel, when it comes to at this point, bad writing. Who knows?
Anything else you got about this episode before we get out of here?
Um, as much as I'm talking trash about it, I'm gonna continue watching it because it's giant monsters. I love the love triangle aspect component of it. I want to see more of May. I hope she has more of a standout role in the rest of the season, and I want to see if Verdugo's actually dead. So, I mean, yeah, I guess what I have to say is what I have to look forward to.
I'm liking it a little bit more than you, but I agree with all your points about the show. I just like it a little bit more, but they need to pick it up. So I'm expecting some type of big fight action piece next episode. They need to get something to reel us in so that we can get on that ride and enjoy it like we did last time. So I'm expecting something big next episode. Not like a big turning point like like a Game of Thrones penultimate episode, nothing like that. But just a little something to say, like, yeah, we know what you're looking for. We know why you're here. Because season 1 had those things, but it had the character development too. This season has been a lot of character stuff. I wouldn't call it character development, just a lot of character stuff. But we haven't had the big action piece yet. And we need the big action piece.
And I think to add to that, Brandon, before we go, like I think not just they definitely do have a lot of like character development going on, but they're dragging it out.
Yeah.
They're really dragging it out right now. So let's see. Let's wrap this up and get to work, guys. Come on.
All right, so we'll be back next week for episode 3. So thank you all for listening. And remember, if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a review. It's 5 stars read on the show. We appreciate all those reviews. We just reached our 500th subscriber on Spotify, and that's not even our main platform. So we appreciate y'all there. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can see us go live, which Sanel and I will be live. Well, you've already seen it. So we'll be live after you see this reviewing Paradise. So come watch us review Paradise. And then you can email the show, wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com, and follow us on all the socials that We Was Watching. So for Javi, I'm Brandon. We'll be back next week. Peace.